Google, what are you even doing? Okay, all humans are a little bit hypocritical, right? Alright, there's been things I've flip-flopped in the past of, and there's times where I've had a certain opinion, time goes by, have a different opinion, but this just flat out is the definition of hypocrisy. I don't get it at all. Let's just begin. I thought Google was on kind of a winning streak here for a while, you know? I enjoyed the 3A, the 4A, the 5A seemed fine. You know, it didn't seem that much different. It's like, we want to keep flexing the 5G, and it's like a slightly bigger display, but all of these phones have retained the headphone jack, and all of a sudden with the Pixel 5A, they're really trying to point this position down by making an entire commercial that I believe is supposed to be somewhat comedic, because they're somewhat emulating the Johnny Ive, you know, like British voiceover as we talk about overly simplistic objects that make our way into magic tech products. There's a good way to do it, don't get me wrong. I love the Johnny Ive parodies, and I've done it many times in the past. These $700 wheels cannot be made anywhere else on the planet for cheaper, and no, they can't lock. Yeah, I get that joke, but Google, if you wanted to monetize off of the Johnny Ive meme, there were so much better ways to do it than just bragging about how the Pixel 5a has a headphone jack when the freaking Pixel 5, the Pixel 4, the Pixel 3, the Pixel 2, and yes, the upcoming Pixel 6, none of these things had headphone jacks, okay? So for 4 years, Google has been shipping phones without headphone jacks, and for some reason, they finally want to bring up that this one has it, despite the fact that their higher price, more luxury option, you know, you pay more, you're supposed to get more, you know, that's supposed to be the higher price. If you really want a better phone, if you want the best Pixel out there, you're gonna buy the Pixel 6. Yeah, that one doesn't have a headphone jack. They don't want to bring that back to their flagships. It's just looked at as an entry model thing. I'm not sure exactly what the thought process is there. Well, if you pay for a Pixel 6, you got some money for Pixel Buds. Also, Pixel Buds. Google has been selling these for a long time. They're kind of advocating for, you know, wireless headphones. That's the way to go. But Pixel 5a, they want to brag and make whole 2-minute videos just dedicated to the fact that a headphone jack exists on this phone, which more than likely will be gone within a year. Okay? I would not be shocked at all if the Pixel 6a ended up not having a headphone jack because nothing else in the lineup has other than the A series for freaking 4 years. So Google, you knew this comparison was going to be made, right? All right, like if you want to keep the headphone jack around just for your entry models, I get it, but you don't want to drag a bunch of attention to it when you've already removed it on your flagships. Why? Is because you look stupid when you try to sell someone on a feature that you actively remove on a higher price option. This mainly just kind of distorts your audience and confuses everyone, because you're like, well, if this circle that they're bragging about and if this headphone jack is so important, why the heck are we removing it on our more expensive phones? This is just marketing 101. It actually doesn't shock me that Google, of all companies, is the one to take marketing in this direction. I thought they were doing great, and I was really excited for the Tensor chip, and I'm still trying to remain excited, but then every once in a while, Google, especially with the Pixel team, particularly with Pixel's marketing team, they will just do the most confusing, outright, nonsensical, hypocritical things that I just think to myself, why the heck don't you communicate with your R&D department? Okay, it would make so much more sense for Google to not mock the headphone jack. You can brag about something else. Talk about the amazing price point of the 5A. Talk about the amazing display. Talk about the great camera performance. But to just go all in on a stupidly placed headphone jack, I might add, that's not a good spot for it. When you're actively not supporting it on the majority of the phones you've made, and you are continuing to not support it on future generations, don't bring much attention to that. You know, just offer it, but don't really focus on it. Doesn't make any sense to me. And again, just like in 2016 when Google bragged that their phone had a headphone jack only for them to remove it a year later, it just feels like there's no foresight. There's no like planning going on, and they're just kind of like, well, phone has a headphone jack now, so let's talk about it and brag about it and flex on everyone that it has a jack, and then only for it to be removed very shortly later. If you guys have a theory on why this makes sense or why the hypocrisy is justified, feel free to let me know, because I genuinely don't get it. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you in the next one.